When Jacob met Pharaoh, Pharaoh asked him how many were the days of the years of his life. And Jacob said, 130, few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and I like that his life was evil. I have nothing against Jacob, but I'm resentful of what he represents. Yeah, I'm a victim. But I'm really tired of watching people do the wrong thing and get rewarded for it. I'm tired of being surrounded by thieves, and because I'm the only one who refuses to do it, I'm seen as the bad guy. I'm tired of being disrespected, and when I stand up for myself, things escalate and now the ones who were doing me harm become the victims, and I'm the one who has to apologize. People end up taking their side because they're just like them. So even if I'm right, people don't like me because of what I represent, so they don't care if I go through unfairness. Look, I get Jacob's side. He might have felt cheated because he was the second born, and so he might have thought that he should cheat others to get what he wanted. Hurt people hurt people. However, the world does not have to pay for the wrongdoings in your life. And therefore, I'm glad to know that he had to move in with his uncle, Laban, a trickster just like him. Jacob pretended to be Esau to fool his father, Isaac, and Laban sent his daughter Leah to sleep with him, instead of Rachel. And then Jacob had to work 7 more years for Rachel. Then Rachel, his favorite wife, died, and his own sons fooled him, just like he did Isaac, by saying that Joseph, his favorite son, was killed by an animal. I'm sick, I know. Being happy for the tragedy in someone else's life. But he brought it on himself, so I feel like a superhero who's been through a traumatic event, has anger issues and looks for criminals, people who give him an excuse to be able to be evil without having to feel guilty. Joseph told his brothers his dream of one day ruling over them, and he used to tell Jacob when his brothers weren't doing their job. He does sound a little bit naive, annoying and a teacher's pet, but still, he wasn't a bad person and did not deserve the evil his brothers did to him. But that's life, isn't it? If you don't participate in doing evil, evil will be done to you. Therefore, there's no escape from sin in this world. And you can't be bitter, you can't wish them ill. You've got to forgive, you've got to love them. Reading the Old Testament for me is easy. There are some difficult passages, but I get that it was different times, and there are many things that only make sense if we were living with them at that time. However, when I get to the New Testament and Jesus starts talking about how we should handle our enemies, I get extremely angry. This guy makes no sense. The maximum I'm willing to do for my enemies is to be as far away from them as possible, be respectful, and not retaliate. Now, love them? Do good things for them, like washing their feet? No. They're just going to keep taking advantage of me. I can't do that. Or eventually I will soften their hearts or show people that the ones in the wrong are the ones perpetuating the cycle of enmity and not me. But also, because love is more powerful than hate and hating is easy, loving is hard. But still, I'd rather eat glass than do that. At least immediately. I can love my enemies after some time, but while the wound is still fresh, I don't know if I could do it. Maybe in a life or death situation I could overcome my resentment, but for small stuff, probably not. Once, I planned on mistreating someone who mistreated me, but when he was respectful, I couldn't do anything. I actually felt bad for holding a grudge. I felt like I was the bad guy and was frustrated because, now, what do I do with all this rage? And I let it go. I felt good for a moment, and then I got angry again because I'm tired of being forced to feel in a way that's not good because of others, and then I feel guilty because of Father since I'm not being holy. So once again, they make the mess, and I'm the one who has to clean it up. But it's all a test from Father. All those people were brought by him to reveal what's truly in my heart.